What if you could build yourself a simple AI receptionist that businesses actually need and turn it into a reliable source of income? Building AI receptionists is actually way easier than you think, even if you're a complete beginner and know nothing about building AI receptionists. Today I'm going to show you in this video how you can build yourself an AI receptionist using make.com and VoiceFlow, and how to potentially even sign your first client. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most innovative opportunities to make money online in 2024. Creating and selling AI receptionist bots. These bots can schedule appointments, manage customer queries, and log support tickets with the help of AI. Basically doing everything a real receptionist does with zero human intervention for a fraction of the cost and 24/7. Okay, so before we get into the step-by-step process of how to actually build a bot, let me show you exactly what it can do. So we can just click start conversation here. So it greets us and it gives us a random fact, and also it's here for any requests that we might have. So we could ask like some basic FAQ questions like what are your operating hours? Gives us the operating hours, and we can ask like what services do you offer? Gives us the services that they offer, and we can also make a booking through this AI receptionist. Let's give it our full name. What is your email? So we're just going to give it a test email address. Let's choose preventative dentistry here. And here's the booking link, so we can choose any of these days here. Let's choose the 22nd of January at 1:30 next. Enter our details here, schedule event, and just like that, it's been scheduled, and we don't need help with anything else. And we can do so much more with this. We can even cancel the booking that we've just made. You can also reschedule the booking that we've just made, or we can even get in contact with customer support. Everything that you've seen here, I will teach you how to build in the following tutorial. The best part about this AI receptionist is that this user interface that you see over here can be integrated into WhatsApp channels and websites. And that's what makes this AI receptionist so valuable, is that it can be integrated into many platforms. So now that you understand what this AI receptionist can do, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, now that you understand exactly how the solution is profitable, I'm going to show you exactly step by step how you can build your own chatbot. So you're going to go over to voiceflow.com and you're going to create an account if you don't already have one. So I've already got one, I'm just going to sign in. So once you're in VoiceFlow, this is going to be what it looks like, and this is where you're going to see all your agents that you've created before. So we're going to go over to the top right and click new agent. I'm just going to give it a name, so I'm going to call it Dr. Smile 1 because this is AI receptionist for dentist industry. Dr. Smile 1. We don't really have a web page right now, so just going to click skip at the top right. So this is the page where you literally are able to edit your AI receptionist. So the first thing that we need to do is set up a knowledge base, and its purpose is to equip the chatbot with the ability to answer common questions that the user has. So it's going to click data source here. You're going to be on knowledge base already, then you click data source, click plain text, and I've already created dummy information for a company here. I'm just going to paste it here. All the information that I use will be down in the description. So I'm just going to click import, and just like that, the knowledge base has been created. And so now the next thing that we need to do is create our first workflow. So it's going to delete all these template workflows quickly. We're going to go to the home workflow, edit workflow. So we're just going to delete this all because this is just all tutorial stuff. The first thing we need to do here is create a friendly welcome for the chatbot. And this is the first thing that the user is going to see when they enter the conversation with the chatbot. So we're going to click here and we use the message prompt, and we're going to say, "Hi, I'm Dr. Smile, how can I help you?" So we're going to say greeting member. And the way you connect these, so you just drag here and you just click it here. So the next step is we're going to allow the bot to respond to it, and to do that we need to go to this listen tab over here and go to buttons, and over here it's going to listen for a trigger, right? And a trigger is basically, it prompts the bot exactly what to say and which workflow to enter. Okay, so the first workflow that we're going to create is a knowledge base workflow. So this is the workflow which connects to the knowledge base which you uploaded in the beginning of the video. So you're going to click the new workflow over here. I'm going to say knowledge base. So we're going to click here and we're going to say add trigger. We're going to go intent, and there's already a demo none intent here. So this is perfect for this case. It's when the AI bot does not know what to do. It's just going to default to the knowledge base, and that's exactly what we want. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to drag here and we're going to say response AI, right? And we're going to click the dot source is going to be knowledge base, and the question is going to be use curly bracket last utterance. So last utterance is essentially the entire message that the user has sent to the chatbot, and it's going to use that to answer. So I'm going to give it clear instructions to say answer the last utterance using information from the knowledge base. So we're just going to assume that's going to go through the first time, and we're going to say listen for trigger, so it continues on the conversation. So listen and go buttons. So that's just going to create a single loop, so every time that this has been run, it's going to run again. So it's going to allow the user to prompt another message in. So just in case it's not found, we're going to set up a customer support logging system, but that's just in the next workflow. So first, let's test if everything is working. I'm just going to click run here at the top right to train your bot. So once it's trained, you can say run test. So you're going to say from the knowledge base, you can say what are your operating hours. See, it should jumps to the, and there you go. So you see it jumped from the home workflow into the none workflow, the knowledge base workflow, because of the utterance here. And these are just debugging tools which can help you understand exactly what the bot is doing if you're getting lost or you're getting errors and your bot is not giving you the expected outcome that you would like. So as we can see, the knowledge base is working well now, and now the next workflow that we need to set up is the customer support logging tool. So we're just going to click back here. I'm going to create a new flow. Let's say customer support. Create workflow. Add trigger. I will go intent, and now we have to create a new intent, okay? And we're going to say this customer support. Trigger this intent when user in this utterance section, we basically need to give the AI examples of what the user might say if they want to get in contact with customer support. So you can say, I want to get in contact with customer support. Another one could be, I want to talk to a human. And the third one, I demand. And as you can see, the strength of the utterances is quite low. So basically that means when someone says something like this, the bot won't understand exactly what it means. So to circumvent this issue, we need to generate more utterances. So you can use AI to generate 5 examples for you. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So as you can see, it's given us more examples that we can use, and the utterances strength has increased, and that's perfect. That's exactly what we need. So we're going to say create intent. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to create a message block that just says, okay, sure, no problem. It's going to need a few piece of information from you. So we're going to click here and talk. We're going to say message block, and we're going to say great. So once we've gotten that, we need to ask for their name, their email address, and the reason why they want to contact customer support. So we're just going to go from here. We're going to follow on. We're going to go another talk message. Please provide us with the email. So we're going to say talk, and we say please provide us with your full name. and you're going to go capture. You're going to go to this listen tab here, you're going to go capture, and you're going to put that here, and you're going to say entities. You're going to create an entity, and it's going to be a name. So this is basically a variable that will store the user's name, and you're going to say data type here, we're going to say name. They've already set it up for you, it's over here. And the next thing that we need to do is we need to ask them for their email address. Same thing, capture, create a new entity. We've got email, select data type, and it's already their email, as you can see. And the third thing we need to do is describe the issue or query that they have. So click here, talk, message, ask them to describe the issue. Listen, capture, create new entity. So next thing we need to do is create an entity that describes their issue. So we're going to create entity, we're going to enable the issue, and we're going to call it key phrase. Okay, cool. And now once you've got that, what we need to do here is validate the information that the user has given us to make sure it's correct. So we're going to give it back to the user, and they're going to make sure it's correct. So we're going to say, is this information correct? And we're going to give them back the variables. So we're going to say name, we're going to say email, and I'm going to say issue. And we're going to say issue. And now we're going to give them an option to say yes or no. I'm going to say listen, buttons, and we're going to create 2 new buttons. We're going to say yes, and we're going to say no. And if they say no, we're just going to restart the process again. So we're going to click here, I'm going to say actions, go to block. I'm going to go to the new block 2. That's why you should probably name your blocks, because it becomes easier to do stuff like this. So customer support, I'm going to go new block 2. So now what we need to do is create an API block. An API block essentially is going to allow VoiceFlow to communicate with make.com, and make.com is what's going to create the emails to customer support for us. So you're going to click here, you're going to go to dev, you're going to go to API. You're going to click post, and from here we're going to go to make.com. So if you don't already have a make.com account, you can just get started for free, and if you do, you can just click login. So once you've signed in, it's going to look quite different from this, and you're just going to have basically nothing going on here, but you're going to click create new scenario at the top right. So this is the make.com workflow. So basically the first thing that we want to do here is create a webhook. So you're going to click here. If it's not here already, you're going to go webhooks. You're going to search webhooks. You can go custom webhook, and you're going to add a new webhook, and you're going to name it customer support logging. So this custom webhook is going to create a custom URL that you're going to copy its address to your clipboard, and you're going to paste it in your VoiceFlow window. So you're going to come here, you're going to go to your API block, and in this space over here, you're going to press Ctrl V and put in your URL, your private URL. And after that, you're going to click OK. So you're going to go back to VoiceFlow, and in the header section, you're going to go content-type, and you're going to go application/JSON. So once you've pasted it and got your headers here, so what we're going to do now is configure the body. So the body is basically going to allow us to send the information that we collected on VoiceFlow over to make.com. So you're going to click raw here, and you're going to do exactly as I do. It'll be in the description, so don't worry, you can just copy and paste. Okay, so once you've copied and pasted it, we're just going to test to see if it's working. So what we need to do is click send request here, and it's going to fill in some details. So once you've click request here, what we're going to do is going to enter some dummy variables. So we can go test for all of them, generate. Now if you get a code 200, that means your request was successfully sent, and you can see here successfully determined. And if you get a code 400, just go back in the video, you've probably done something wrong. So once the data structure has been successfully determined, we need to go back to make.com and create a Gmail module. So you're going to go back to make.com, you're going to click this plus button over here, you're going to search Gmail, I'm going to say send an email. Once you open up the Gmail module, this is what it's going to look like. But you won't have a connected Gmail account at the top here, at the connection place. So you're going to click add here. So you see there's two different Gmail accounts that you can have. You can have a personal account, you can have a business account. If you have a business account, there's nothing else that you need to do. All you need to do is click sign in here with Google. But if you have a personal account, it's going to be slightly different. I'm going to link a video in the description that tells you how to connect a personal Gmail account to make.com, so you can continue with the step. And once you follow that video, you come back to this video and click sign in with Google. But if you've got a business account, just continue and watch the video. Just sign in, and once you signed in, you'll be connected. So you're going to add a recipient. I'm just going to add my email address here, for example, but this would be your customer support email address. Customer ticket as the subject. Okay, so now we need to set up the content field. And to make the content field dynamic, i.e. basically allowing it to pass different variables through, we need to run the scenario at least once. So you're going to click run once over here. You're going to go back to voice flow, and you're going to say resend your test data. It's going to be sent over to voice flow. As you can see, it's gone through. These little thought icons mean it's gone through. And now once that's happened, you can click content, and now you see you're going to have variables that got collected from the webhook. So now we can put that in our email. So we're going to say the customer's name, and we'll put that there. And we're going to say the email, put that there as well. And finally the issue, we'll put that there. So now if we press OK, all of this information will be sent to our Gmail account. And I can just test if it's working. We say run once over here. It's just waiting for the webhook response. We're going to say resend. 200, that means it's been sent. It's been sent. Now let's check our Gmail. So now as you can see, a customer support issue has been sent here, and here's everything that you need. It's got the name, it's got the email, and it's got the issue. So that's the customer support tool done. Resend. So now when you go back to voice flow, it's going to send a message saying that your issue has been sent to support and you'll be in contact. And it's going to ask them if there's anything else that we can help them with. Let's say talk message, drag it under there. So now what we need to do is add a buttons block. Have them two options, yes or no. So what you need to do now is route this yes block back to the home page. I'm going to click here and go actions, go to block, select block, home, greeting. Cool. Now if they say no, what we're going to do is just end the conversation. Actions, end. So that is the customer support logging done. Okay, the next part of this bot that we need to set up is a booking scheduler. So you're just going to add a new workflow. I'm going to name it bookings, create workflow, and create an intent. I'm going to call it booking. Trigger this intent when a user wants to make a booking. I'm going to give it some examples. Two is good enough. We'll just generate the rest. There we go. Create this intent. After we've created the intent, we're going to create a message block. Talk message. Say no problem. So you can get some of the information. I'm going to ask them for their name. Click message block. I'm just going to drag it under there. Go to listen, you're going to go to capture. Similar to last time, I'm just going to click entities, name, it's already created from last time. And now the next thing that we're going to ask for is the email. Talk message. You go to listen block and go capture. Same thing, entities, email. And the last thing that we're going to do is going to give them options to say what they would like to get done. You can add as many cards as you want, but for the sake of this video, we're only going to limit it to 3. So this field over here is basically going to show an image. So you can upload one from your computer, or you can just copy and paste the link from Google. The next field is going to be the card's title, and then the third field is going to be a description. So I'm just going to set them up quickly, and then I'm going to come back and you'll see exactly what they look like. Now what we need to do is just add buttons below them. So I click here. Do that for all of them. So now from that, what we need to do is have a set variable that basically sets the booking variable that we're about to create to one of the selected treatments that the user has asked for. So we're going to click here, you're going to say set block, and you're just going to set variable. Create a variable, go booking, create variable. So after you've created this first set variable block, we just want to duplicate it 3 more times so each of these can have their own set variable. So it's going to say Control C and just Control V, Control V, Control V. Just connect them all up. And so now each of these set variables is going to set to the chosen procedure that the user would like. So we're going to name this one PD, short for preventative dentistry. So now we're going to label this one CD, short for cosmetic dentistry. And we're going to label this one RD, short for restorative dentistry. And the last one we're going to say checkup. It's going to say CU for checkup. So now what we're going to do is collect all this information and post it using an API block to make.com, to a new scenario. So what we're going to do is we're going to click dev here, you're going to go API. I'm going to configure it just now, but first we just need to link all of these up. Just link them all to the top. So now we need to configure this API block. The first thing you do is click post here. I'm going to go to back to make.com. And create a new scenario. You should know how to do that by now. Save changes. Make sure before you leave this page that sends the customer support email, you just click save at the bottom here. And what we're going to do is create a new scenario. So click create new scenario. And we want a webhook, right? So what we want here is a webhook. We'll go custom webhook. And we're going to add a new one. I'm going to name it booking. Same as last time, copy this address to your clipboard. And after that, we're going to go to headers. We're going to put content type, content dash type with a capital, and application slash JSON. And in the body, similar to last time, all we're going to do is click raw over here, and we're going to send all of the variables that we've collected here. The code will be pasted in the description, so don't worry about that. Just copy and paste what I put in the description into here. And just like last time, it's going to check if it's working. Send request, test. I was going to say RD, for example, restorative dentistry. Click generate. And code 200 means it's gone through. And if you go back to voice flow, it'll say successfully determined. Click OK. Once you've created the webhook, the custom webhook, what we're going to do now is create a Calendly link. So you're going to click here Calendly, or you're going to search for it at the bottom, and you're going to create a scheduling link. So you're just going to connect your Calendly account. You're going to create a Calendly account. If you don't have one, it's going to connect it here. And now for this, what we want to do is click one maximum event, an event type. So event type is basically the Calendly link that you have. So it'll be like this. So if you create a new event type, for example, create one-on-one. I'm going to make it an hour. You can change availability depending on the days of the week that your dentistry is working, but I just leave it weekdays 9 to 5. We'll label this test 2. saved. So now if you go to event type, you'll see that there's going to be 2 event types that are here. So you've got test 2 and 30-minute meeting. So you can click either of them. It will just create a scheduling link for that event type that you choose. So we're going to choose test 2 in this instance. Click OK. And now after that, what we want to do is have a webhook response module. Book response, body. And what we're going to send back is the booking URL. And I'm just going to paste the code down in the description, and again you can copy and paste it into this body paragraph here. Once you pasted it in here, we're going to click OK, and now we're going to run once just to check if it's working before we run it. And actually, before we run it, what we want to do is set up the API block to capture a response, right? And the enter key field, what we want to put here is link. It's basically responding to this part of the body here. So we're going to integrate that in, and we're going to create a new variable. I'm going to name it link and create variable. I'm going to apply to link to apply to link, and I'm going to send this request just to test if everything's working. It was sent. Now if we say run once, use existing data, wait for new data. So now what we want to do is we're going to resend this 200%. We got the link back, as you can see. So that means everything was successful. And so now what we need to do is with that, we're going to go success, come over here, we're going to go to the message block, talk message. So now with this message block, what we want to do is embed the URL. So you're going to have to use code for that, but I'm just going to put the code in the description, and you can just copy and paste it into the messages here, over here. Once you've copied the code, it's going to look something like this, right? It's not going to be working right now, but don't worry, it'll work perfectly once you actually run the bot. So now what you need to do is have a talk response and just say, above is your scheduling link, please schedule a booking that you would like to have. And we also need to tell them that a confirmation message will be sent once that has been completed. Now I'm going to add another message block here. I'll just ask him if we can help with anything else. I'm just going to add a buttons block. You want to have yes or no. No, we're just going to end the conversation. And yes, we're just going to go back to the start. Okay, now we need to test if the bot is actually working. So what we need to do is just click here and just press this play button over here and just give it our information. Just preventive dentistry here. Yep, and as you see, here's the booking link. So you can choose any of these days here. Let's choose the 31st. We can choose 11 o'clock. Next. Just enter our details here. And just like that, we've scheduled the event through VoiceFlow. Let's go to our email to check if we've gotten the confirmation message. Yep, and here is the confirmation message. So the scheduling booking is working correctly. So the next thing that we need to do now is cancel booking and reschedule booking, and then the bot is done. So we'll start with the cancel booking. Back here, we're going to go to new workflow, cancel booking. I'm going to create a new intent here. Cancel booking. When user wants to cancel booking. Okay, we need to give it some more here. Now I'm going to create intent. Now the first thing that we need to do here is get the email that they made the booking with. So just get the email, talk, step, message. Go to listen step, I'm going to capture that email that they give us, entities plus email. Now what we need to do is just validate that the email that they've given us is correct, because if not, this whole workflow won't work. So it's going to have a message block that just gives them back the email to just test if it's correct. So I have the variable here. And give them options, yes or no, same thing that we've been doing. Yes, add another, no. And if yes, we're going to go to the API block, dev API, and if no, we'll just reprompt them to give it to us again. Just loop it back there, there'll be no issue there. So now we need to have a post request here. I'm going back to make.com. I'm going to create a new scenario. Most of these make scenarios go is going to have a custom webbook here. I'm just going to add a new URL. I'm going to name it cancellation. I'm going to click save. And I'm just going to copy this address to our clipboard and paste it into the URL over here. And so now what we need to do is create an HTTP request. Make a request here. Now what we're going to use this HTTP module for is to make a request to the Calendly API to get some information that we don't have. The URL that you're going to need, I'll paste in the description down below, so just copy and paste it. And it's going to be, the method is going to be get. I'm going to add some headers here. So the name is going to be authorization. And the value, I'll tell you exactly how to get the value, but it's going to be bearer. You're going to have to get your API key. I'm going to teach you how to get your API key quickly. So what you need to do to get your Calendly API key is go to calendly.com and go to your account and go to integrations and apps, and you want to search for API. And this one over here, API and webbook, so you want to click it. So this is what the page will look like. What you're going to do here is generate new token, and you want to give it a name, create token, and a verification code will be sent to your email. Just paste it in here. So once you've entered your verification code that was sent to your email, just want to copy token over here and just want to paste it right here. So now once that's pasted, what you want to do is click Perez response here at the bottom. The next thing I want to do now is go to create a Calendly module. That's list events over here. What you need to do here in this Calendly list events module is get the user URI. And to get your own user URI, what you need to do is run this scenario at least once. Run once. Then you want to go back to VoiceFlow, and what you want to do is just configure this API module quickly, the same way we've been doing. This content type, application/JSON. The body, what we're sending now is just the email. Then again, I'm gonna have the code pasted down below. So once you've copied and pasted here, what you can say is send request. You're gonna generate, you're gonna give it a random email. Just click generate here. So once you get this 200 code, you wanna come back to make.com. So now once you have your email variable set up, what we wanna do here is this invite to email place. You wanna click email and the user URI. To get your user URI, what you wanna do here is go data, resources, and URI right there. After you put those fields in, you want to scroll down to the bottom. So the status, you want to click that to active, and the limit you can just leave at 10. Say okay. And the next thing I want to do is just make a Calendly API call. You click Calendly over here, scroll down all the way to the bottom, make an API call over here. Okay, for this Calendly module, there's not that many fields that we need to fill out. But for this URL module here, you're going to take the outputs from the previous module, the list calendar events module, and you're going to scroll down to where it says URI over here above calendar event. Click URI, and then you're going to say /cancellation, and the method is post. I'm going to add a few headers, or just add one header. The key is authorization, and the value is the exact same value that you had on this HTTP request. See this value over here? You're going to copy and paste it all and paste it over here. Once that's all done, just click OK. So now that's this make scenario done, and then you go back to voice flow, and we just need to send a success message saying thank you, your booking has been cancelled. Now let's just test if everything is working. Just give it. Now let's check our emails to see if we received a confirmation message. And as you can see, yep, it's been cancelled. The last workflow of the bot that we need to create now is the rescheduling part of the bot. So it's quite similar to the cancelling part, but with a few differences. Let's just create a new workflow, reschedule. Add trigger, create intent. Just give it a few utterances. And just allow it to regenerate the rest, create it. Because the beginning of the rescheduling and cancellation part of the bot is quite similar, we can just copy and paste the blocks that we used in the cancellation booking. So to do that, just come here, just shift click both of them, Control C, come back to the reschedule, paste it here, just drag them out a bit and just connect it here. And now we just need to call an API again. Post. I'm going to open up a new make.com scenario, create a new scenario, custom Ebook. It's quite similar, you know. We'll just add a new one, reschedule, save, copy address to clipboard, go back here, Control V, quite similar to last time, content type, dash type, application, /JSON, body, just copy and paste the code that's in the description. Okay, after you set up the body, we need to go back to make.com, right? And the first thing that we need to add here is an HTTP module. And we're gonna make a request right over here. And the URL that you're gonna use the one that's in the description. The method is gonna be get, and you're gonna add a single header. The name is gonna be authorization. And the value is going to be bearer with your API key for Calendly. So you've put in your value and your API key, you're going to peruse the response over here and you click yes there. And the next step that we need to do is get a Calendly module, and we're going to have it list events. And for the user URI, you're going to use the same URI that you used for the cancellation module. You're going to paste that there. And then for the invitee email, you're going to use the one that you got from the webhook that was sent over. And you're going to scroll down, and the status we want only active. And you're going to limit it to 1. Press OK. So So before we need to go to the next step, we just need to quickly run this scenario once to get the variables that this one outputs. Wait for new data. I'm just going to resend it back. And now we're all good to go to add the next module. So we're going to add another module. Calendly, scroll all the way to the bottom, make an API call, click on it. And the URL that we're going to need is going to go to the variables that this one outputted. And it's going to be this URI over here above calendar event. Click it. And you're going to say /invitees/. Just like that. The method is going to be get, and you're going to leave the headers as is. And you're going to click OK. And now the next thing that you need to do is you need to add a webhook response. And now before we input the variables that are going to go into this body of this webhook response, we need to run it one more time again to get the variables that this one outputs. Just click resend. Go back. Just check what it sent. Okay, it's got everything we need. So in this webhook, we're going to configure this body over here. Once again, the code will be in the description that you need to paste in this body right here. So the code that you're going to paste is going to look like this in the body. You see, you want to remove this placeholder over here, but keep the quotation marks. And then you're going to replace it with your rescheduling link. What you need to do to find your scheduling link is click body, collection, and you're going to scroll down, and it's going to be reschedule URL. You're going to leave that as is. And click OK. I'm going to save. You can go back to VoiceFlow, and you need to be able to capture this response. So at the bottom of the API block, just click on this plus over here, and you're going to go reschedule URL over here. And you're going to apply it to a new variable that I'm going to create. I'm going to name it reschedule URL. Create variable, and just going to test it again. Send request. Go back here, run once, see if everything's good. It's going to generate, and as you can see, we've gotten the link back from make.com. So everything's working fine there. What we need to do now is display this as an embedded message to the user. And click here and say talk message, and then you're going to copy and paste the code that I put in the description over here. And once you pasted it, we're just going to add a few messages below the embedded code. Drag this block under here and just say here is your rescheduling link. I'm just going to ask if they need anything else. Message. And then we're going to listen for a trigger. Buttons. And just like that, we've set up the rescheduling part of the bot. And so now what we need to do is just test to see if the bot is working. So you can go back to make.com and make sure the scenario is turned on. Click on there, delete all data. Just delete. And now that it's on, we're able to test to see if it's working. Give it our email. And just say yes, it's correct. And here's the calendar. So we can reschedule any date we want. I will click the 15th of January at 9 o'clock. Next. Enter. We don't have to enter anything here. Say update event. And just like that, we've rescheduled the meeting. So just like that, we've completed the bot, and now what we need to do is just publish it. So you can click on publish up top here and say, give it any name that you want, And just like that, you publish it, and you can even share it with anyone that you would like. So you can share a prototype via a link. Don't have to have a persona, you don't have to be password protected. Just copy this link right here, paste it into your web browser, and just like that, your AI receptionist is ready to be sold to any business that you can think of. So I'm just going to quickly show you how you can get in touch with businesses to offer this service to them. What you're going to do is you're going to go to Google and you're going to search up dentists near me right here, and you can open this, and here's an entire list of dentists near you. So what I recommend that you do is go through this list one by one and get in contact with each of these dentist practices, and I guarantee you that at least one will respond to you. So if you go through this full list here of 5 pages, you're guaranteed to get at least one response, because this is such an amazing offer that is hard to put down. Congratulations, you've just unlocked the potential to create an AI reception that not only saves time, but also opens up business opportunities for yourself. Whether you're building this AI receptionist as a service to sell, or you're implementing it in your own operations, you now have the tools to make it happen. And for the business owners, this is only the tip of the iceberg. AI can do so much more to help you streamline your operations, cut costs, and enhance customer experience. If you're curious about how AI can revolutionize your business, I would love to help. You can book a free discovery call with me using the link in the description. And anyway guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.